Yes, I mean there are situations where we get immediate confidence. I think there's two things that can contribute to that. One is when the market drivers are positive, so there is no accident on the top line assumptions that we've made before the investment. But the more important thing is the second one is actually the HR and the management strength that we perceive as we get more acquainted to the company. So usually there is a very strong correlation with how comfortable, how confident we are about what the investment is gonna make, and the feeling we get about how professional the management levels are. I would say beyond the CEO and his direct reports. Usually what makes us confident is when we get to know the N-1, N-2 levels in the different countries. If this layer of management is very strong, then usually our confidence level goes high, and we were not always in a position to see that before investing, because sometimes the exposure is still limited. I would say there's certainly a trend towards higher multiples at the moment. That's one trend. The second one is maybe more of a segmentation between funds that have made the move to become European a few years ago, and who are expanding that move, and who, I have to admit, seem to be raising money more easily than the funds that have remained just at the French level. At least the past fundraising that have been published seem to indicate that. So that's the second trend. And the third one would be, after the crisis years, maybe a slow but growing move to becoming more hands-on in a real way, not just to tick the box of the hands-on sort of image, but you do see some funds slowly building up operating team, like what we are doing at LBO France, where I belong, with an approach where we really work in a project mode on value creation opportunities in the companies, getting action plans identified and tracked in a collaborative move with the management, but in a very hands-on move, in the sense that these teams are in the companies most of their time, rather than in the office looking at reporting and just looking at things from the office. So I would say this move is still slow. I would say it's still not as advanced as in the UK, but it's definitely a move. If I can compare to the UK mostly, because I don't have too much data points in other countries, but my understanding is that the mid-market, at least in France, is a little bit different in the way that management team interact with the fund managers, and the importance that the management team has in the strategic decisions of the company, and as well as the exit options. People are, it turns out that the best assets and the best management teams have a strong say into who they end up working with. And so as a fund, you are usually very careful in the reputation that you have with the management teams, because it can be distinctive in the acquisition phase, this reputation that you have, and therefore, you collaboratively elaborate the strategies all the way to the exit strategy in a way that sometimes we perceive as more friendly than in the UK, where sometimes management teams can appear to be more volatile and maybe more as considered as commodity to the deal as to really part of the long-term story of the company. I mean, what makes me keen is basically meet my colleagues, once or twice a year from other funds, and keep challenging, the way we look at things, which I try to always innovate and make evolve to what others are doing, and get some general feeling of what's going on and who is innovative in their approaches, and try to pick up some good ideas and bring them back home. Is basically my motivation.